On this episode of Old Bagel Podcast,
I'm going to be leaving in November. And then finally, it was October. I'm like, yeah, my resignation date has been moved up to today. So I will be leaving. So it was like 10 o'clock in the morning.
It's such a badass way to walk out. I wonder
I know.
how many people like that are clients of yours company that are just like old Southern honey type people.
All of them.
Just like every single
sure
one.
it's
Oh, yeah.
She's getting to it. She's getting to it.
I'm cooking right now. This is a very small point that explodes into a very big thing.
You want me to?
I'm moving units a little bit too.
Yeah, there you go.
Right,
You got the intro. Remember, it's the things from yesterday. The lessons from yesterday still being good today.
So you idiot.
All right, we can do on each one.
Because I also have a list.
You got. Yeah, we're in it. The episode is. All right, Casia, go for it.
Full fucking chaos because we have two Nagels on the set today. Our first guest, Kelley Nagel.
Yay!
She brought a list.
Yeah, because I watch all of your podcasts and I have some concerns. Everything. So I was watching you with Brandon and he was like, I don't really understand the podcast. I'm like, no.
I know I don't speak loud enough, and my voice naturally does not, my voice doesn't carry loud enough.
But you don't need to be that close to the
trying.
microphone.
No, I think I do because I don't have a loud enough voice. Like I was listening, and I was like, I don't know what the fuck I'm saying.
Okay, fine. Yeah, be as
So
close
I
as
have
you
to
want.
be loud
I don't
and
think
close.
as long as you're not like right up against it, I think you're good. Like, yeah, you're probably fine right there. You're probably fine right from right here to like right here.
I'm about to say I probably shouldn't get closer. It's gonna be like super loud.
You're fine. You're fine right there.
I have a loud voice, but you could.
It carries.
Project. I do not project.
Yeah,
Even when I thought I was projecting, like
See,
the past couple
we
episodes,
had to project or else we didn't get fed.
Mommy.
Yeah.
Okay.
So anyways,
All right,
this is
so
a whole new episode.
Before you bring up your concerns, we have.
Episode 7.
They're not really concerns, but they're like my opinions.
Okay, well then you can bring those up in 2 minutes once I ask you this one very important question.
A or 1.
What?
A or 1.
A or 1? What? We just forgot about that, didn't we?
A or 1.
Air 1?
A or 1.
1.
Sick.
Fortune teller.
Oh, fortune teller? No, well, okay,
I'm
do a
one.
fortune. Do a fortune. Do a
I'm
fortune.
one awesome kid.
One
Okay.
awesome.
Pretzel. I like how you spelled it out.
Did I?
Yes. That's just in case you forget. 6. 6.
Oh, she's getting mighty beastly over there.
6.
Fuck. You smell nice.
Aww. That's so sweet. Okay, so the first question I want to ask every guest before we make them do fortune tellers is, what are your go-to bagels?
So that's another thing. So the best bagel
Put these on first.
is
Can you see out of those?
Nope.
Yeah, they're like super dark, right?
They're definitely
super
not
dirty.
dry bagel.
All right, let me see if I can. So the best bagel is actually a plain bagel with cream cheese, tomato, and melted mozzarella on top.
Oh,
that's really boring
that's pretty good.
ingredients.
No. It's delicious.
The only like exciting ingredient is sour or cream cheese. That's the only thing that brings like extra flavor. Everything else is like super mellow. Like mozzarella cheese is a very mellow thing. Like, do you like a mellow brekkie?
It's actually a really cool because usually the bagel is hot. The cream cheese and tomato are cold, and the mozzarella is hot.
Yeah.
So it's like a difference of temperature and also consistencies, but it's.
We'll see. Like
Interesting.
I like
I've never
that
tried it.
When I get my breakfast,
Fresh
sandwiches.
mozzarella, right?
Fresh mozzarella.
Yeah. Okay.
It has no fucking flavor, but it kind of does, and I love it.
It's more of a
I
texture thing
love
for me.
fresh
That's why I like
so
it.
much. But when I get my I get a bacon, egg, and cheese from Mazzo, just on plain white toasted, but I get lettuce and tomato added to it, and the crunch and coldness of the tomato and lettuce.
Exactly.
So good. So I get it.
But if I ever go to a bagel shop, I do get the cinnamon cream cheese bagel. Yeah. No, cinnamon cream cheese is
gross. And it's genetic.
It is so good. It's so good.
I get it. I'll let it slide.
Yeah, no, cinnamon cream cheese is really good.
Sure.
It's genetic. What is that?
Because that's what you said. Your favorite
that's
one
true.
was, you weirdo.
So-
and then you said cheese and onions.
So your go-to, you're
Onion
saying
bagel is good.
your go-to bagel is plain cream cheese or plain with cream cheese, tomato slice, and mozzarella, fresh mozzarella on top. So just a half bagel. Okay.
Melted.
Acceptable.
You should find that out beforehand so we can make it for them, you idiot.
No, we gotta find out so that when she comes back, we can make it for them.
Secretly find out. Okay, you're just...
And then we can be like, we have it for you.
Exactly, you bitch. We should have found out so I could have made it and given it to her.
It's okay.
So I probably would have made it for you guys. So we'd be like, this is the best.
Why didn't
and
you?
this is why.
Here's why
This is
I
why.
am upset and disappointed because she didn't make me a bagel today.
Oh.
I made peanuts and she didn't like them.
I don't eat peanuts.
But they're so good.
No.
I just like boiled peanuts. I'm a big fan.
Yeah. We found out that's why South Carolina's like best food.
Okay, Miss List. Let's hear the rest of your list.
Yeah, what else do you complain about? What?
I cannot believe that you did not 100% Breath of the Wild or Tears of the Kingdom.
Oh my gosh. Oh, Tears of the Kingdom is
hard.
Tears of the Kingdom is still in progress.
Okay, also I
have
have
you-
been
have
wanting
you-
to sit down and play and I don't have the free time unless I don't want to sleep.
Have you played since you beat Ganondorf?
Yeah.
Okay.
And he didn't tell me he beat Ganondorf until today.
I did it last night because I didn't want to get
Because I was going to do it last night and then I fell asleep. And I was like, because I promised Vincent, I was like, by the time Kelley comes on, she's going to have beat it, so I have to beat it. And I wanted to last night, but I did.
So what did you do? You looked it up and said?
No, I've seen.
She looked it up a while ago.
Immediately. I'm super on YouTube. Like I've seen everything.
She looked it up a while ago.
Shut up! I didn't look it up. It just showed up.
It just popped into your algorithm.
Okay,
I was wondering how. I was like, it's gonna be a stupid ending because Breath of the Wild was stupid. This one.
You didn't like it?
Stupid.
I liked it. I thought it was awesome. We were like, so I didn't catch Zelda right away.
Okay. Wait. Before we
I didn't realize you had to press it to catch.
Wait. Before you start, was Link shirtless when he went to dive to save Zelda,
No.
or is that just mine?
That's in your head.
Okay,
Link's shirt popped off.
So
Link had to pop that T.
no. Okay. So when I was fighting Dragendorf, I had my gloom set on because the gloom was hurting me.
Right.
Oh.
And then Brandon got upset because he said that the hat looked like a KKK hat. So I said, fine, I'll put the Midna hat on. So I had the Midna hat and my gloom shirt and pants. And so I was doing it, and then I beat it, and I didn't realize, that's what I was going to be wearing through the cutscene. But they just omitted his shirt and hat.
No way.
And so he was fully shirtless, like diving, and they like carrying.
I had the.
Is this part of the story, or is that just because they don't want me to wear the glue?
Well,
shirt?
shit, I can't remember now.
You didn't record?
No, I didn't record me beating it. No, I don't know how to do that.
You just hold down the fucking record.
I don't know. I just never thought about that.
To record my.
Yeah, no, I've been trying to do more of Tears of the Kingdom, but I'm also like glad I'm done with it because it's like it was a lot at first. You're just like, fuck, this game is insane.
Like, I don't want to be done, and that's what I've been telling Vincent. Is like once I defeat Ganondorf,
right.
I have no drive to go back and complete.
Unless they do some DLC and make the enemies stronger, then I'll go down and take down like a golden Lionel.
It's just like a straightforward like linear path. Like, hey, go do these few things, or hey, you get this really cool one-hit obliterator, and then you don't get it ever again.
I can't believe y'all didn't finish the DLC either.
I didn't.
Are you kidding?
You bitch.
You didn't do all the.
I got through the
and the fifth Divine Beast battle.
I like playing other.
Master Cycle 0.
You didn't get your Master Cycle.
Dumbass, but
I like.
It's not worth it.
And I was like,
it's not worth it.
Because that's why I'm still playing Tears of the Kingdom, because I've been waiting for Tears of the Kingdom to come out for so long. Mm-hmm. Because ever since I kept replaying Breath of the Wild over and I kept 100%ing it, because the one I wanted to get all the Korok seeds just using the Korok mask, because the first time I got all the Korok seeds I was kind of using the map online, but I was like, no, I should be able to just go and use my hero's path, go get the Korok mask real fast, and then try to follow the exact same line back. and then I'll know where I've been, and I can just like search everything here.
Have you watched your Hero's Path live? Like, have you watched it?
Oh, where he dies?
Every time you die, you hear, wow!
I do it accidentally all the time.
Oh, man.
I do it accidentally all the time, and I'm like, oh, no. But now it's also because I've just now, it's really hard with the Hero's Path because of the different levels.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, so have I been here? Because some of the islands are really high, and I'm like, okay, so I've already been here, but I'm like,
right, and it's like you can barely tell if it's like more saturated.
I actually haven't been there. It's just I've been under it a whole bunch of times.
Kelley has been like full on completionist mode, like beyond what I could even like expect of myself. Like she is just constantly updating, like 64 old maps.
Yeah, right. Oh my god.
Yeah, and so I actually brought my Switch just in case you asked me, like, how far along are you? I'm like, how do you?
I was wondering if I should bring my Switch too, so I could like look at it.
I was like, because I got all the light routes before everyone else.
Right. Because I don't think I'm gonna complete light routes. Light routes.
So there is a light route for every shrine?
Every shrine.
Ugh.
But so the excess is all the sky shrines.
Right, I was going to say, our sky shrines have all that. There's only land shrines.
Because I was like, there's no way there's 152 shrines because there's only 125 light routes, so it's only 125 shrines.
Yeah.
And then you were like, no, Casia looked it up and it was 152. And I'm like, I don't think there is. And I was like, so where's the other 27?
And you got all the shrines in this one, and you got the armor?
Yeah.
So what does that armor do? Because I've seen it. I know it turns you into, but does it give you anything else?
I know, but I haven't been able to upgrade it twice yet. So.
Right, that's another thing. It's like, why the fuck? We gotta upgrade all this shit. We get so many, like, you have so much armor.
Yeah.
And you want to upgrade all of it, but like...
The fierce deity shit is so dope when you get it, because it's like...
It's fully upgraded.
Well,
the only thing
once you unlock...
is my Hylian outfit.
Once you unlock the second, like, upgrade and you get the armor set bonus, it's like, your attack is ×3, and then your charged attack stamina goes down. So you basically can just get a large weapon and spin in a circle forever and just fuck everything up.
Did you find the dusk bow?
I don't know. I don't think so.
On top of, it's like on
Oh yeah.
Oh, it's at the very top. Yeah, I think I got that.
I probably just like out in the open. Like
no, I didn't find. I did upgrade my battery all the way.
I just.
I haven't done that.
I'm
close.
So you do all. Was it?
It's eight cells total, like 8 full cells, I think.
No, there's 3 cells and then.
Oh wait, yeah, but there's 8 like.
But then you do it again.
Oh, what the fuck?
So you upgrade it.
There's 2 rows.
48 times, yeah.
What the fuck?
So when you're doing it first time, it's green, and when you do the second time, it's blue. And then when you're done, I was like, okay, what can I do? Do I go another color? Like, how many more cells can I get? So when it drains, it goes all the way to blue, and then it goes to the green.
Oh, okay. So, I got you.
So I was like, okay, what's gonna happen now?
But then also, why do you need that much? Like, what are you gonna do?
Well, you make a mech. You make a mech
and then you ride.
Well, so apparently the beam emitters drain a bunch of battery, but there's a thing you can attach below the beam emitter. I think it's like one of the stabilizers, and it makes it shoot in like pulses instead of just like a direct shot, and it uses like a fraction of the I've been watching a bunch of TikToks of people doing shit like
where the fuck.
Yeah, Trevor keeps sending that because another thing was there's also a Zonai set. Have y'all seen that?
I got the bottom. I got the bottoms. I think I got the trousers.
There's a Zonai set where you have it's a Zonai set that like it diminishes your battery half the speed.
Yes, yeah, I have something. I have the headdress. It's like big and plumey.
Yeah. I was trying to figure out if I'm missing any armor sets, and I am missing the torso of the ice headdress and the fire headdress.
No.
Yeah, just do it right there.
I'm not going to. Don't be a weirdo.
Because I found those ones on accident. Because the electric headdress was a quest, so I had to find all 3 pieces.
Yeah, and you find all of them. That one was like the easiest thing. You just find all 3 of them in a row.
Yes, but then I found the ember, the fire one. I found the head and the pants somewhere on Death Mountain, and then I found the other ones, I think, somewhere in Zora.
Yeah, I need to go and make and get one of the Satoris to show me where all the caves are, and then go around and do stuff.
So, have you been noticing all of the like kind of maps in the stables or places? So there's a map of all of the Satori trees.
What stable is that in?
I can't remember. so
it's in one of them.
So I've been trying to upgrade my horse, and it keeps asking me for like how to make these certain meals, but I don't know how to make those certain meals. So I'm like, okay,
the recipes are in, or there's recipes in the stable too.
Yeah, in stables. So there's also maps, and one of them was for the Yiga clan, where to go find those hideouts. Then the other one was for the trees. The other one was for the geoglyphs. Like, there's all these different maps. And I'm like, oh. But, like, I had to take a picture of it because you can't really, like... It's really crudely drawn. Mm-hmm. But I'm like, oh, so that's where it is. So then I marked it on my map and, like, just looked for it. So now I have marked on my map all of the Satori trees. And I'm going to be going through and trying to get all those caves because I'm really bad about caves.
Yeah, there's got to be so many more, like, items and armor pieces and all sorts of stuff, like, hidden in all that. But all the caves.
Yeah, I'm mostly trying to get all of my bubble gems because of Colton.
So is Colton's brother Colton?
Oh.
They have the same name, right?
No, it's Kilton.
Kilton and Colton.
Kilton's from Breath of the Wild. Colton is a little brother.
Is the new one who gives you the... he wants to eat the gems.
Yeah, so once you give him, like, I think, like, 30 of them, he gives you a rupee set where, like, instead of hitting hard, it takes your rupees away.
Oh, yeah.
But then he's like, oh, I still know Satori. I need 100 bubble gems. So now he's like, I want 100 bubble gems. I'm like, 100? I just gave you, like, so many. So apparently there's 100 caves, I think, or there's probably more, like 100.
Right.
But I think it just so happened that I had 100 caves left to explore to get the bubble gems. So I was like, there's so many caves.
It's like 400.
And so I have
and wells and stuff too.
Yeah, so I'm like halfway there. Like I got like 50 bubble gems left to get to the 100, and then
you get the whole armor set.
I don't know.
Or the whole Satori armor set.
I don't know what the ending is.
Maybe you get a Lionel mask.
I have the rupee set where it's like a really long flowing hair, and that you get that after like 30 bubble gems. So it's not much.
I think I have that too.
Yeah.
Sucker.
Yeah. So have you talked to Colton again? And he's like, I need 100 bubble gems.
I'm flashing red. Am I muted?
No.
Yeah. Did you press it just now?
No. I only just noticed it.
Someone has notes.
Complaints.
That's the name of this episode, yep. Kelley. Someone has notes with Kelley Nagel. All right, go down your fucking list. Let's go.
So on episode 1, y'all were talking about why schools have money for Chromebooks, but not for the teachers. Mm-hmm. And
I don't remember anything.
I wanted to explain because I'm an accountant for charter schools, and so this is what I do pretty much all day long. So schools are, nonprofits. They get all of their money from grants. Uh-huh. Now, in order to get the grant, you basically spend the money and get reimbursed later. Now, when you apply to get reimbursed, you got to show your receipts because all the grants have stipulations of what you can spend it on. It can be salaries or technology or
like that episode of The Office.
Yeah.
When Michael Scott could either buy a scanner, printer, or new chairs, and then he gets a coat from Burlington Coat Factory.
So then when COVID hit, the president had passed a bunch of special grants that are just for COVID. So it was only for 20, 21, 22, and then they extended it to 23. That's why they still have funds. And actually, some of them got extended again to 2024. But they said that's going to be the last year for those funds for you to be able to apply to get more funding for the technology mostly and stuff. So that's the reason why teachers aren't paid a lot is because the grants that are given to the schools are not a lot. And the schools can only spend what they can spend
on certain things.
Yeah, and we had 2 charter schools that they overspent on paying their teachers, and now they're closed.
Oh. Dude, that's messed up.
So teachers either get paid or the school gets cut.
because the school was too new, and because they also have to follow what they call debt covenants, which are if they usually get a pretty large bond from like Bank of America. Mm-hmm. And they have to have a certain amount of cash on hand at all times, and a couple other things. And every quarter, they have to send these reports to the bank. Mm-hmm. And if they fail, they pull the entire bond. So that's what happened to them.
It's just the whole school.
They failed their debt covenant.
Holy shit.
Wow.
And now it's closed.
Damn.
But it was also in like Upper South Carolina, and like we tried to warn them, like you can't be doing it. Like you gotta do something. You gotta get an investor of somebody. Like
some donations.
You're gonna fail your debt covenants if you're not careful. And December 31st, when they had to send their reports, it got pulled.
Damn. So are you specifically working with schools or like for?
School hires the company I work for.
Okay.
But and then of course I do like the grunt work. I'm not very high up in my company.
Not yet. Not yet.
yet.
But it's better than the job you had before, where you didn't get moved up at all.
Nope.
Where were you before?
Technically the same company.
Yeah. So basically, what happened was I finally had enough of it, and around end of October, I walked out and was like, I can't work here anymore.
How long did you work there for?
Like 8 years.
Yeah, 8 years after working there, she leaves.
Yeah.
That's how committed this
because I
work.
gave them like 12 weeks notice. I'm like, I'm gonna be leaving in November, and then finally it was October. I'm like, yeah, my resignation date has been moved up to today, so I will be leaving. And it was like 10 o'clock in the morning.
It's such a badass way to walk out. You're like, hey, so you know how I've been like trying to quit? Well,
my resignation date. My resignation has been moved up to today, and my boss was like, "What happened?" I was like, "Well, I'll tell you what happened."
Well, let me whip out my list.
I had a problem. Yeah, and I was like, I had a problem, and I thought I was going to be professional and be like, "Hey, I want to talk to you about this problem." And when I tried to, she said, "Why are you yelling?" And it pissed me off. I'm like, "So are you gonna like listen to what I'm gonna say?" So I was like, "You know what? No." And that's when I walked over because I'm like, I'm gonna be leaving today, and I started taking all the stuff off my walls, and I left.
Oh yeah, good for you. I need to do that. I tried to quit like a year ago.
Oh, I think I remember. Didn't you text like, I'm quitting my job? So
I made a big post about it.
But what happened was, then 2 months later, I got a call from that same boss and was like, "Hey, so our company is merging with another company, and we this company is going to be like completely different than it was before, and I think you'd really like it, and I was wondering if you wanted to like work here." And I was like, "Is so and so going to be there?" And they were like, "Yeah, but she's going to be on a separate side of the building, so you shouldn't have to interact with her." And I was like, "All right, well then I'll do it." And so that's what I did. And Brandon was like, "So you quitting closed the company?" Because like basically they couldn't function, and like just everything started hitting the fan.
That's the truth. Like big companies, like they rely on people who do so much work, and they don't give you guys enough credit. And then once you leave,
because all of a sudden they're like, "Oh, we have too much work and not enough people."
Well, yeah, they don't realize. What do we do? They don't realize how much you're doing like behind the scenes.
More than one job.
And so the other guy, he wanted to retire. So then the second partner was like, now what we gotta do? We have to do something. So that's when they merged with the other company, and
which
it ended up.
She works for now.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Cool.
But like technically, I quit for 2 months. So it's like,
fun.
Did you work? Did you work? Like, are you from there? Because like I had to have it in my email, like previously known as and I was like, do I need to do that? And they were like, nah.
Oh, because you
because all the
working there during the merger.
Exactly. Technically, I wasn't hired by. I wasn't merged in. I was hired. By the other company.
The new company. Nice.
Yeah. It just so happens that I know all of these clients and all of these employees.
They were like, "Why wouldn't we hire this person? They work for you for how long?"
Everything.
I mean, I was like helping all of them. They're like, "Who is this lady?" I'm like, "That's just the granddaughter of this and this." And it's like, "Don't worry, she's just."
I wonder how many people like that are clients of yours company that are just like old Southern money type people.
All of them.
It's just like every single
I'm sure
one.
it's a lot.
That's wild.
Yeah, they're all old money.
All right, let's go. What's your next?
Oh, next thing. Moving on.
So, you never played Age of Calamity.
No.
Oh, come
That's
on.
the best.
I've been
It's
bored.
so good.
I don't have
Look
the money.
right there.
I
Look
can't
right
pay
there.
for it. Yeah, I'll take it right now. I'll pay.
It's so good because
It's awesome.
yes.
It doesn't really have any canon, but they make it in a way that it doesn't need to have. It
was the best thing to play after playing Breath of the Wild because
it's its own thing.
Yeah, because
Talk to me in 2 weeks.
Yeah, when I played it, I was mostly Link, of course, and then I played a little bit as Mipha, and then I played almost all Link. So my Link was like super overpowered.
Yeah.
But the thing is, it's multiplayer, so I had Brandon play with me as well, and he wanted to be King Ronan. I'm like, or whatever his name is, and I was like, oh great.
It's so easy. You just run around pressing the same button over and over again.
My Switch couldn't handle it. And actually, my Switch...
Mine lagged too.
It
I remember
lagged
that.
so bad. My Switch died 2 days ago. Yeah. Not that one. That's Brandon's, actually.
Oh, wow.
So I was playing it. So I got home from work at like 9 o'clock, and because I already ate dinner at work, so I came home and I put the thing in, and I was playing for like good 20 minutes, and all of a sudden it said, meep, and I'm like, it was like, your console is too hot, and it turned off, and I was like, this is all I wanted to do all day long. So I was like, oh. And Brandon's like, what's wrong? I'm like, Switch die. I go, what am I supposed to do? He goes, put it in the refrigerator. And I was like, okay, fine. Put it in the refrigerator and put it on. And I was like, and it still got really hot. And he's like, do you want to just use my Switch? And I was like, no, because then it's gonna erase everything I've done. He goes, well, you can transfer your data. I'm like, that's gonna erase all the stuff you've done. He goes, I have a PS5. I don't care now. he's like, that Switch is like 7 years. He's like, you can have it instead.
I think they have warranties, don't they? Like.
Well, I bought it.
It's been so long.
I bought it in like 2014.
No
Actually,
way.
I didn't even buy it. I think you and Trevor bought it for your Christmas.
I got the first Switch.
Yeah, I got the first Switch. Oh, yeah. You got the very first one at Walmart. I got the first. I got it at Target. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't, and I got it a year later because I was like, because I heard that Breath of the Wild is one of those games where you like have to play it all the time, and I'm like, yeah, I don't have time for that. So I like was putting off. I didn't want to play it and didn't want to play it because I was like, I'm gonna get sucked in. And I did. So if you play Age of Calamity, you'll know that it's Purah. Like purr.
I'm sorry. Her name's now Purah, which is disgusting.
No,
that's what
it's
Zelda said.
I fucking hate that.
No, that's how Zelda says it because she has a fake accent.
Everyone says it.
But Impa says Purah.
Oh, okay.
It's also Moldulga.
Mondonga.
I say Moldoga.
And I say Mondonga.
And it's Hylian, not Hylian.
Yeah, Hylian.
Well, you say Helian.
You say
Helian. That's
well,
disgusting. I say Hylian.
Hylian?
Yeah.
No, Hylian.
I call it Mondonga, whatever.
Yeah.
That's
more.
super
Mondonga.
There's no N in the word at all.
But when you said Helian, like our first episode, I said, don't think I can be friends anymore. So, what was your first Zelda game that got you into it? And then, was it because your brothers were into it?
Yeah, because Ocarina of Time. Yeah, so it's Ocarina of Time, and because it was the N64, which was our first console. Well, I guess the NES was the first one, but really,
that one didn't.
It didn't really work.
No.
So the N64 was the first one, and basically, Ocarina of Time, Diddy Kong Racing, and Super Mario Brothers 64, and a little bit of 007 was basically all we played all the time, all over. And if Trevor wasn't playing, Vincent was playing, and it's a one-player game, so you just kind of watch.
And then we played a lot of Mario Party too.
Mario Party. That came out a little bit later.
Oh yeah, Mario Party and Mario Kart were.
So here's another rabbit hole I went down. So the reason allergies exist is because of capitalism. Because
my family is from the third world country of Philippines.
So basically, when they were replanting trees, because we cut down all the indigenous trees, right? So we were replanting trees, but because of capitalism, they didn't want anybody to be able to pick wild fruit off the trees or any kind of food off the trees.
Made sense.
So in order to prevent anyone getting any free food from these trees they're planting, they planted all male trees so that they can't reproduce. Now, male trees produce all the pollen. All the pollen is because of all the male trees that they planted.
Fuckers. Dicks.
That's why allergies are so bad, because all the trees are male.
Kelley, where's your list?
Up your butt.
What's next on your list of stuff we need to do better?
Okay. The reason that pineapple pizza is nasty.
Oh, that's the number 2.
That's only number 1 in this episode.
Oh my
fuck
God.
off. Okay.
That would have been number 3.
It's not because pineapple is sweet and the tomatoes are sweet, because no, that doesn't even go together. You cannot compare pineapples to tomatoes. First of all, pineapple is an overpowering flavor.
It's acidic for sure.
Yeah, it overpowers the entire part of the pizza. Everything, you don't put it on because you don't put it on anything. People who like pineapple like just pineapple. Those same people don't eat chocolate covered pineapples. They don't eat pineapples on some other things. It goes by itself because it overpowers everything else.
I would love a chocolate covered pineapple.
Have you eaten one?
Yes. Well, my family's Hawaiian also, so we have a lot of pineapple, a lot.
So, okay.
But here's the thing.
Most people don't
not like pineapples?
I like pineapples.
Okay.
But by themselves.
That's fine. are you mad that people like pineapples on their pizza?
Yeah,
but why?
I say that you should not put. Because
why are you mad if someone likes a thing?
It shouldn't go on it.
But
it ruins it.
But what if the person just likes it?
Like, because why are in the Midwest they put mayonnaise and peas on pizza? Does that make you
okay?
Okay,
they can have broccoli. They can have broccoli on their pizza if they want. Like
no mayonnaise. Yeah, broccoli's good on pizza.
You're a little more forgiving than most, but there's some things you're disrespecting.
This is a very.
She's getting to it.
I'm cooking right now. This is a very small point that explodes into a very big thing, and I think you're gonna catch on real quick. And you can still say no, but it doesn't affect you. If someone is eating a pineapple pizza, it doesn't affect you. Like, someone's liking a pineapple pizza, it doesn't fucking matter.
Yeah, you can say that about...
Why are you mad?
You can say that about anything.
Exactly.
They're getting their
like, why are you mad? Like, why are people mad that people like a thing if it makes someone happy? And if it's not breaking laws and it's not illegal or, like,
I'm not
mean.
I like pineapple on pizza.
I like pineapples on my pizza, too.
Hold on. Let me get this across real quick. So I think
I like that we're having a real conversation.
I think it's because
bear with us. This is our first time. Sorry.
No, I think it's because everybody loves pizza. You don't know anybody who's like pizza's not my thing,
right?
And if they, whatever, fuck them, they're weird. But I think that people have an idea of like what pizza should be, and then when people start going outside of like putting like you got your broccoli and like gorgonzola and your chicken.
Well, it should have started at
fucking
stuff. Ranch and chicken pizza. Like that should have been the cutoff line. If you didn't start an argument, then you have no fucking say. You have no fucking say if you didn't say, "Ew, that's not what a pizza is."
But I don't really understand. Okay, so what? Hold on, don't say anything. What other toppings on pizza are there any other toppings that people put on pizza that you find unacceptable as much as you find? Nobody puts watermelon on pizza.
That's gross. Because it makes you wet.
It doesn't affect you though.
It wouldn't affect me. It wouldn't affect me. But I think that my pizza might fall apart because it'd be too wet.
It would be too wet. That's why I don't like putting tomatoes on pizza
but
too much.
I do like having my watermelon with feta cheese and basil.
Okay.
And salt.
I could see that, like a watermelon salad. Okay,
so watermelon pizza.
I'm trying to think of like a pizza menu.
Think of a topping that you find as offensive as pineapple. Because this isn't like a thing that this is a lot of people are like.
This pineapple is a target.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like don't put.
Like, is there anything else you're mad about?
No apples or peaches. Because
whoa.
Have you had a pizza with honey?
Peaches are so good.
No.
Have you had a pizza?
Put that on your pizza. Eat it by yourself.
Have you ever had a peach on a pizza?
No.
Pizza with honey.
So
and mushrooms.
When peaches get baked, they become like more savory instead of sweet. Like I would argue that peaches are probably better on pizza than pineapple because pineapple keeps that same like sweet flavor. It's just sweet. That's why I think people are like, pizza's not supposed to be sweet.
Right.
No,
the thing is, like,
it's not supposed to be sweet.
But, like, it's okay.
It's
okay, though.
It can be tangy.
But when people are mad about it,
people
that's the thing.
People get heated.
Like, why are you mad?
Because it's gross.
Okay.
I don't want to look at it.
You.
Okay.
I don't want to look at it.
Fair enough.
And that's okay. That's okay for you to not like it.
You also worked in several pizza places and like you've worked in like Italian restaurants too, so you probably see a lot more of stuff.
I was a pizza girl.
And guess how popular the Hawaiian pizza was?
Nobody ordered. God, I love
Hawaiian pizza.
I saw it like maybe once a month.
It's okay.
No.
It's okay.
There's so many other
But I think the main thing is like, are you mad to be mad, or are you mad about it for a reason?
Well, those are you can't just be mad about. She just said she thinks it's gross, so that's the reason for thinking that it's.
But she's upset that other people enjoy it.
Well, you're also
right?
you're also like talking at her very intensely, so it's.
I told her.
You're very passionate about this. So maybe she feels a little attacked.
I want to tell you why.
No, I know Kelley vaguely. We've known each other a while. But from our interactions, I know that she's up for a good debate. I know that you are. I mean, you're fucking smarter than me. I know you're up for good debates. Why can I not pick her brain?
No, you can. I'm not saying stop. I'm saying,
Okay, people getting mad. It's not like mad like.
So you're not mad.
No, it's more like a. It's like more like.
You were discussing yourself,
and not you.
Right.
Oh, right. And not you. That's what it is.
Yeah. So you never experienced any like dating apps, right? Because you and Brandon have been together for a long time. But that's like a very heated topic in dating profiles. Is it's like pineapple on pizza, and there's like a thumbs up.
How willing are you to put something disgusting in your mouth?
Yeah.
That's what that question is.
Will you accept this and then also my dick? Pee pizza. Sorry.
I never had that.
All those questions have a different meaning.
Episode 1, when I was talking about the guy who had been hitting me up to make out.
Yeah.
Who had a girlfriend, or I met the girl who was like, yeah, I'm dating this guy, and I was like, oh
turn it toward you.
I was like, oh shit, because I almost was
yeah. I remember. I know who you're talking about.
So he's been hitting me up hardcore, like super crazy, like a little relentless. Hold on, I'm gonna show you.
Okay.
Because I honestly did like finally give in recently, and I was just like, yeah, whatever. Like I would like to do sex. But it's been a lot of like you can see like he sends these like purple devil emojis, and it's just like that's like what that's like the code word. And I keep like giving excuses. I'm just like, oh, I'm tired, or oh, I've got the.
It's
girls.
mainly like I'm working.
Yeah, I've told you, like I just am not super up to like.
I just read the wrong text. I read what you texted him.
Oh. I know. That was a real life quote. Like, I was, like, cleaning my kitchen one day, and I was like, someone just needs to lick my asshole right now. Was that the quote? Or did I get it? Okay, all right, good. Because it was real life. I was just like, I want my ass get eaten.
Let me just read it.
But
trust, I want to get my asshole licked.
Okay, that was when I was giving in. That's when I was giving in.
I know.
Okay.
No. But then you said, but I can't tonight. Yeah. I have work.
So, like, not tonight. No, but typically I was, like, not giving in. I wasn't giving him any bait. And then, like, that night I was like, no, I can't. And then again, he tried really, really hard. It was, like, a couple hours. It was after our last podcast. And I was like, I'm going to go skate. And he was like, no, you're not. I'm going to come to your house. Did you read that part?
No.
Oh, because that's exactly what he said.
I didn't get that far. I stopped on the what I just said out loud.
Yeah, and I was just like, dude, I was like, I've got some kitchen reno going on. I was like, I'm cleaning.
Got a lot of stuff.
I
think this goes back into your, like, you're like, I want to have my own space. I don't want anybody in my space.
How I want it to be.
Yeah.
And I was just like, finally, I was just like, okay, like, whatever. He's seen my house, like, worse, like, whatever.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, you can come over in like 20 minutes. I need to like shower, whatever. Mm-hmm. And it was like super late, and I guess he passed out. And I was like, oh, good, because I was glad I don't have to stay up for this. And then yesterday at the bar, I was sitting with our friend, and this girl walks up, and it's this guy's girlfriend. I didn't know they were still together, but she was like, hey, I'm so-and-so's girlfriend, remember me? And I was like, you're still?
You're still, cause
I was like, he said that you weren't. Like, not out loud, but like, because he was like, I'm super single. And I was like, okay, I don't want to be that person or whatever.
Yeah, you're not, it's not really like you're...
I was just like, dude, what the fuck,
That's when you say, I'm glad y'all got back together.
Right, well,
because
then because she's done nothing wrong.
You just say
she's
nothing.
So sweet.
Yeah.
But
you just say nothing.
Have been her, and I don't want to be who I would be.
Yeah.
I'm just
just next time he hits you up, be like, well, what about?
I'm just gonna ignore him.
Girl?
Yeah.
I
brought her up, and I was like, I've met her. Like, I spoke with her about you. Like, it's like, I didn't know.
Yeah.
He's like, well, I'm still single. I'm like, oh fuck.
Yeah. Are you single? Is there a girl that's going to be mad if she hears that I'm single?
the boxes you got to check if you are single.
It was like there's enough questions.
Does a girl have access to your room? Like, that's all you need to check off. Like,
are you sure?
Are you really sure?
Are you single? Yeah. Is there a girl out there that's gonna be upset when you?
Fucked up.
Yeah.
I don't even want to. I'm deleting Hinge again. I don't want.
That was short.
Well, okay, so you kind of see dating as like, more like a overall thing, but in reality, you need to have time for a man. You need to have time to spend even after you start dating, even when you get together, you need to have time for them all the time.
Yeah.
Like you can't be just like, oh, just whenever, no, because then it's not
right.
It's
That's
not
what I was
going to
telling
work out.
It's like I don't want to give my time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. If you don't have time for a man, you don't have time for a man.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
You heard it here first.
you need to have time. Otherwise, it's not fair for either of you. So.
Yeah.
All right.
So.
What's next on your list?
Okay, so we talked about the submersible, the Titan, and you were saying how there's lore about the Titanic, and it's because 4 years before the Titanic sank, there was a book called The Titan that was an unsinkable ship that sank, and just so happens the submersible was also called Titan, the one that just sank.
Idiots.
Oh,
wow. Now I do think the reason that people are interested in the story is not because of who died, or they want to know how. Like, because I asked Brandon, because he's been researching this a lot.
Right.
He goes, I want to know what
I
happened.
saw there was like a 20-minute window of them being in panic.
Yeah, and I was like, you know what happened? I was like, I really believe what happened was someone panicked inside, did something, and it imploded. Because a CEO, before they care about their company, they care about themselves, first of all. So if a CEO was in there, he's not going to be the persons that's like, oh yeah, it's okay, it's fine, we don't need to double check all these things. No, he double checked everything. Like there's no the one guy was saying how he's kind of, a risk taker, but he's a CEO of a $1 billion company. They care about themselves first. So I think this was one of the first, if not, I think it was the first that had like civilians, that not somebody that was in the company to do
trained to go under the sea. Like dude, pressure gets crazy, man.
Yeah, and there's a super big claustrophobia, first of all, but also a fear of deep water that most people don't know they have until they go into deep water.
Yeah.
So I think someone panicked down there. Anyway, I asked Brandon, I was like, why do you care about the story so much? He goes, I want to know what happened. I was like, you want to know what happened, like, to the people? He's like, no, I want to know what it looks like. I was like, of what the submersible looks like when it implodes? He's like, yeah, what does that mean? And I was like, okay, well, you know how you dive into deep water and your ears start to, he goes, no, I don't swim. I was like, okay, well, if you go, I was like, going even like a little bit down into the water, there's pressure. Going 2.5 miles is so much pressure. And I was like, even James Cameron, who was like the first person to ever go down to Titanic, he had a whole team of people watching him, and he was alone.
Yeah.
And like it took 2 hours, and then he's back up again. Like it wasn't like a whole day thing.
It wasn't like an excursion.
No. Yeah. And he was like super careful. Everyone was scared for him because, this never been done. It's really dangerous. Yeah. So it's like, I thought it was interesting that I think people are interested in it because they want to know, like, where's the boat?
Did they
Where
suffer?
are the pieces?
That's what people want to know.
They didn't
suffer. They got squished.
Well,
they got
the thing
squished.
is,
if that's what happened,
it's not confirmed, but a lot of outlets are reporting there's a leaked, because they were texting back and forth. There's like 20 minutes worth of them being like, hey, we have this one thing going off, and we hear a noise.
Yeah.
And it's like about 20 minutes between then and then when they have their last communication. It's 20 minutes of them like
panicking,
losing their goddamn minds,
and they're like giving their depth as they're ascending back up. They're like, we have to come back up, and it's like within the 20 minutes, like they should have gone up like a couple hundred meters. They've only gone up like 3 meters.
Yeah, you have to like keep going up.
So like
the stages,
it's a little obvious, like from what, and it's not confirmed.
They need more evidence. Yeah,
right, but from what people are seeing and have been reported on,
that's good. I'm good. I was just checking that one.
Is
to
that
see the time.
They knew for like a good 20 minutes that like things weren't quite right, and then when they tried to ascend, they tried to jettison their like the frame. Didn't go off the first time, and it was obvious. And they tried again, and it came off. And even after they did that, like to get the extra weight off, they still weren't rising.
Oh, because they were losing pressure.
So they knew, like there was obviously something wrong. Like even if you're just on as a civilian on this submersible, like, you know something's not quite right. So your energy and your like adrenaline's like raised a little bit, so you're like kind of hyper aware and scared. So like they had like a good bit of time to be scared, and that fucking sucks. You know, like
just like the Titanic, it took hours for it to sink.
Exactly. Like you're facing death, and that's like, Vincent, what you brought up is like they knew.
Yeah,
you know,
it's like, they knew that risks. Like, I don't understand why that's like it's like, yeah, why the fuck would you go to the bottom of the ocean? Like,
well, because if you pay $250,000, you would think it's safe.
You think you're paying for your safety.
If you're paying $25,000, yeah, it's probably not the best.
You're paying for the fucking gas to get down there. Like, that's
yeah,
it. You're not paying for your fucking safety
dude,
there.
Like, you can't.
Yeah, and
you can't make that a safe thing. Like,
right,
it's impossible.
That's like with the Virgin Mobile like space trips. Like, you cannot guarantee that's safe.
Yeah, well, space is a little bit. I think
space is different.
Like,
sure.
orbit is probably easier than. It's probably not. It's probably not hard. It's probably harder to get there. But once you're there, it's a lot easier to maintain.
Right. And then re-entry, like.
But but going into the bottom of the oceen, that's like. Fucking
but at the same time, you cannot fully 100% guarantee.
Okay, next. Next on Kelly's list of things we did wrong.
Last Airbender. You didn't watch Airbender?
I watched.
I didn't.
She didn't watch it.
Didn't watch it.
But I cut that part.
No,
no.
No, you cut when I missed.
I cut the part because she thought I meant Avatar: The Blue Alien.
Because it just came out.
Yeah. I thought you were talking about that too, because I was like, oh, I just watched The Way of Water as well.
Right, and I liked it, and people said it was going to be stupid, and I was like,
I liked it. I'm pretty sure it's on HBO.
I wasn't even thinking about it when I said Avatar.
It's on Disney Plus. I think that's what it is.
Yeah, she's never watched it.
So
I have watched it. I've not gotten into it.
So that's why it canceled, because Nickelodeon didn't play it sequentially. It played like one or two episodes over and over again, and it was like one of the worst episodes they had, because it was the only one that didn't have anything to do with the story, so they could play it whenever they wanted without anyone being like, I don't know what's going on.
Okay.
So it wasn't sequential enough, and back then people didn't really record their shows, so it kind of failed. But yeah, it went on Netflix. That's actually when I watched it.
Yeah, I watched it on Netflix too.
I didn't have Nickelodeon growing up.
Right.
But I thought it was a kids movie or TV show, and I was like, no, I'm a waterbender.
Have you ever watched One Piece?
I watched the first season. I watched the first season.
All 62 episodes.
I'm actually trying to get back into Naruto and Digimon 2020.
Oh, dude, Digimon 2020 is so
I know, I got to like episode like 7 or 8, and then I was like, I can't watch this anymore.
It's so good. So much better than the original. It's insane.
Yeah. And Naruto is just so long.
There's so much in Naruto. It's crazy.
And
then there's like the whole other like series after it.
Everything has its own arc.
Yeah, and it's like, and like Sakura just pisses me off the whole time, I know they tried to make her better, but like she's just so deluded. She's like, now I'm as strong as Sasuke and Naruto, and we're like, bitch, you're not strong at all. She was like, I'm like the Sani, and it's like, no. This is the 2 tails and the last Uchiha. The 9 tails, I should say. But anyway, so yeah, Last Airbender also has a sequel, A Legend of Korra. Have you seen that?
No.
Okay, so it's also very good, but not as good as the first. I mean, that's controversial, but because Legend of Korra, they didn't know if it was going to get canceled, so they kind of did the first season on the expectation it was going to get canceled. Okay. So like, she never goes into the Avatar state until the very like last minute, and it wasn't even because she like did anything herself. Just Aang like showed up and was like, here you go, and she goes into Avatar state for like 2 minutes, doesn't fight anything, just goes into the Avatar state, and then it ends.
That's how the series ends?
No, season one. But now that she's gotten to the Avatar state, she's too overpowered. Like, it was like, it's because now she can like just control. No, she was like basically Peggy Sue. Yeah. And just can do whatever she want, and it was annoying. So they tried to make it so that she was like had some sort of fault, but it ended up being more like Rey from Star Wars, where like, she's a little bit clumsy, or she's hot-headed, she has a hard time making friends. I'm like, she's overpowered, okay? She can single-handedly beat everybody. So yeah, you should watch Last Airbender on Netflix, because it's really good, because it's inclusive as well. they introduce a blind girl who ends up being overpowered as well. But like, yeah, because
she's my favorite character.
Yeah, it's just almost everyone's favorite character because nobody thought that she was like anything because they're just like, well, she's blind. Like, what's she gonna do? Like, like okay, she's gonna be like a one-time character.
Yeah. And then it turns out that because she's an earthbender, she can feel the vibrations of the ground.
Makes
so
sense.
she's not really blind. She's like Daredevil. It's fucking awesome.
Yeah. And
she's just OP as fuck. She just fucks shit up.
So all of the elemental fighting is based off of martial arts. And so
a black belt.
And
sure.
Jitsu?
Taekwondo.
Yeah.
Idiot.
So I think
cat scratches.
I think earthbending is kung fu. So but in order for the blind girl to stand out even more, they looked into this really obscure form of kung fu, and there's only like one master, and he's like this 400-pound guy that you're like, he's a sifu master, and then you see him like he's just like. It's like really cool. He's just like, yeah, I decided to specialize in this certain type of jiu-jitsu, but he has to like hold his fingers like this, and like it's really weird looking. But they give it to her, and they also draw her doing like this weird stuff. So everyone's like, what is she doing? And she's just like,
because there's like a whole episode where they're like trying to find the like nobody knows that she's like the earthbending master.
No, because her parents definitely don't.
Yeah, nobody in like the entire village know because she like wears like a disguise. When she goes
no, because her parents kept her a secret. Her parents thought that she was too fragile to be.
What was her name again?
Out to Toph.
Toph.
Because she liked Toph because it sounded like tough. So she's like, I'm tough. But her parents, they didn't even know they had a child because they kept her behind the gate so she wouldn't go to public school. They didn't want her out and about. Like she had guards on her all the time, so she would have to sneak out like at night.
She was their princess, right? She was the princess.
And people were like, hey, do you know this girl? They're like, they don't have a daughter. And so when the parents found out, they were like, okay, you're going to be on lockdown forever now. So she was just like. She broke out and joined the Avatar and was like, yeah, my parents said it was okay. And everyone knows that.
Yeah, just...
They did not say it was okay. But yeah.
She was the best. She fucked you.
Yeah.
Next point.
Okay. So yeah, I recommend...
You keep folding it back up.
I know, it's a nervous habit. I know, I'll like be holding a receipt for like, I'll be like, hey!
I do that too. And
Oops. Your bad flying experience to California made Brandon very mad. Because
sorry, Brandon.
The whole time it was so funny because we were listening to the podcast while we were packing because we were about to move. So we were listening to it and you were just like, oh my god, I'm a terrible flyer. And he thought, oh yeah, me too, because I get so scared of flying. And then you were like, and so anyway, I start taking a bunch of shots of vodka. And he goes,
yes, that's how I cope with it.
Yeah, and he was just like, okay, I can see that, and then you were like, and then I
make up a lie about my life.
Yeah,
she
and then
forgot.
And then you left the bag, and then you left the bag, and then
I was wasted.
And then you left the bag on the plane, and then didn't know that you brought it on the plane. And then you left, then you missed the flight, and then you scheduled a flight at 5 a.m.
Well, all of my flights are like 5, 6 a.m.
Not the next day after the wedding.
I had to be back for work, so it had to be the next day. So there were like
you set yourself up for failure with that
I was set up for disaster, but I made it to the airport.
Yeah, you got to the airport, then you were like, got there, and so I had more vodka. And Ray goes, oh my god!
No, wait a second. Brandon, I didn't have vodka at the airport when I was leaving. I had a McDonald's, and that was it.
Yeah, but she did fall asleep. She was probably still drunk from the night before.
I was super wasted from the night before.
And he was just like, what the hell? I was like, dude, this is not a good idea.
I'm not a good traveler. I prefaced it with, I do not travel well.
If you're traveling alone, you have to kind of be more of your senses.
No,
otherwise you're going to fall asleep and miss your flight.
It doesn't matter. I am a very bad traveler, and I know this, and that is why I can't travel alone.
You don't travel alone again.
You're trying desperately not to have your chair fall over right now.
What's wrong with your chair?
It only has 3. It only
It's
has
not
3 of its
tripod or
5.
anything.
It only has 3 of its 5 legs.
I should look for the rest of the legs.
Probably in your car.
We'll see. No, they're not in my car. Don't talk to me about that.
Okay, next.
I'm a bad traveler. I don't
think I have anything else.
All right, perfect. So, what are some lessons that you learned that are still good today? No, that was the last episode, right?
Episode.
Okay. Well, I do have one.
Okay.
So a lot of people, I think Brandon actually has a shirt of it. It says "Make money, not friends."
Uh-huh.
It's kind of like, you can't have friends in order and still be successful in your job.
Uh-huh.
But I've actually learned it's the opposite.
Uh-huh.
You make friends to make money.
Uh-huh.
Basically, the people that make money, it's because they have a lot of friends.
Connections.
Because you can call it connections. Connection seems like such a business term, but it's like, no, you're friends with people. You know people. You're popular.
Yeah.
And there's did you ever see Wicked? The musical?
I only read it.
There's a musical, Wicked. There's a whole song about popular, and she's
popular.
Yeah, and she was like, all of our great leaders. Do you think they had brains or knowledge? No, they were popular. It's all about popular. And I was just like,
the thing is, like, they teach you, like, from elementary schools, like, vote for your fucking, like, school president.
Yeah,
like,
your cool friends.
It's popularity, and it's like it doesn't just end there. It's actually if you want to be successful, and like, oh well, because you're friends with your dad's friends. I'm like, well, your dad is popular too.
Yeah.
Like it takes time to know different people of the field or people that can elevate you. And like when we had the Audi R8, so. Brandon,
the what?
I have no idea what.
Audi
R8.
R8.
Yeah. We brought up his car in the
bring up a
first
car.
episode.
I
like cars.
I have a car.
He met so many like billionaires in Charleston because of that car.
Yeah.
And he was able to make like networks. He got a lot of good jobs because he looked like he was somebody, and he's basically really friendly in general. So it was basically, and like a lot of his clients are people that knew of him and like spread of, the word of mouth kind of thing. Well, you get that from being popular and good.
True,
but like, but if you don't advertising is basically trying to get people to like you.
It's all that is what life is like.
So
in general.
So how do we get the bagel to become more popular?
You need to make friends.
Yeah, step out of your comfort zone.
Okay, and that's another thing. So Charlemagne the God. He's from Monk's Corner. He had just 2 books, and I read them both because Brandon's the biggest fan of Charlemagne the God. And one of the things that he always says is there is no shortcuts to success. Everyone keeps asking him, like, Charlemagne, how'd you get so big at your radio? How'd you get so big at doing this? He goes, I just started and kept going for years. He's like, you don't think I got fired 4 times? I did. You don't think I had trouble? I did. I lost my job for a year? I did. I had all these things, but I kept working at it. And he's like, there's no shortcut. You just have to put the hours in. He's like, I had like a couple hundred like episodes of the radio before I really got anywhere. And it's like, when you're doing something like that, it's exponential. So it's like really, really slow. And all of a sudden you just go up. So it's the hardest part because you're like, this is going nowhere. This is going nowhere.
But it's going nowhere right now.
It's going to be going nowhere for a while.
It's
sorry.
Right?
That's how it is.
That's what we say every week.
That's how it is.
We say every
it's
week.
going to be slow for a while.
It's like I told you I didn't start watching PewDiePie until he had like 80 million subscribers. It doesn't matter. He was the most popular person, and I still didn't know about him until after he was the most popular person.
And then how many videos did he have? He probably had like a couple hundred videos for you to watch.
Yeah, and I got to go back in his timeline and like watch everything. So it's gonna take time
because you need because
and that's what we talk about.
You have to make the content first,
right? That's what we say every week is that as long as we're having fun, as long as we're enjoying it,
it's going to be like this for a while.
And it doesn't matter. Like and like we also say is it gives us like an outlet for our week. Like like it's something for us as opposed to something for the masses, which I think is more important. We're making this for us rather than making it for other people.
And that's also saying that, like, comment, and subscribe. I'm not worried about it.
I'm not worried either. I don't care if we get famous. I don't particularly want to be famous. But if it happens, it happens, and that is another hurdle to cross.
You just have to keep going, because it's gonna be, just getting shout outs and getting people to like my page. There's no shortcut.
Yeah.
You just have to keep doing the work.
Exactly.
Well, that's a good way to end it.
Thank you for tuning in for episode 7.
This is either 7 or 6.
Thank you for watching episode 6 of Day Old Bagel.
Do both of them. We can...
Nagels.
Bye.
It was a Nagel day. It was day of Nagels.
Love you, Casia. Love you, Kelley. Thanks for coming, and we'll have you back whenever we can.
I talk to the Nagels all day, every day. I text them.
Hours and hours.
I wake up, there's a text from a Nagel.
We got to get our group message
chat
back. That Casia can't name.
I can't name it.
Because none of us have
Fucking
iPhones.
Android dicks.